Hello and good evening, everybody. Welcome to Stuart W. Robertson Memorial Gymnasium on the campus of Roseburg High School in beautiful Roseburg, Oregon, where tonight the Roseburg girls basketball team welcomes in the Willamette Wolverines. Tonight it's a Roseburg basketball doubleheader for you here on The Score and streaming online at 541radio.com. Roseburg girls will play first, and then tonight we've got the boys coming up after that. They're playing back-to-back at the same location. Not typically the schedule they have, but I didn't quite get a clear picture as the full reason as to why they're doing this tonight, but it benefits us. We get a chance to bring you two Roseburg basketball games here this evening and a chance to see the girls once again here this year. Looking forward to tonight's matchup, although it is a big test for this Roseburg basketball team. They welcome in the number 2 ranked Willamette Wolverines, who are 10-5 on the season without a loss against a team from the state of Oregon. They're 2-0 in conference play, and they are looking to try and get things rolling tonight against the Roseburg girls on the road in Southwest Conference action. Meanwhile, the Roseburg girls are 2-12 on the year. They're 0-2 in conference play. They're looking to try and see if they can put together a good showing against this Willamette team that is just so dangerous. We'll see how things play out here tonight as these two programs go at it in just a few moments. As we count down to tip-off here from Robertson Memorial Gymnasium, want to remind everybody tonight's game streaming with video online at 541radio.com. Or you could watch the game streaming on our YouTube channel. Search 1490 The Score on YouTube. You'll find us there. Hit the subscribe button to follow Roseburg High Sports throughout this school year. The video stream of Roseburg High Sports this winter sports season brought to you by the Cow Creek Tribe. We're going to go ahead and get in our first 2-minute break of the pregame show. When we come back, we catch up with Roseburg head coach Chad Smith in his 4th year leading the program. He'll catch us up on what's been going on with the Roseburg girls when we come back after this 2-minute timeout here on 541radio.com and on The Score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
Hey there, sports fans. Thanks for watching this local sporting event online at 541radio.com. Did you know there's more than one way to watch games online? You can watch games on your laptop or desktop computer, your tablet, or even your smartphone just by going to 541radio.com. But we also use YouTube to stream all of our video broadcasts, which means you could be watching this game on your big screen TV with a number of different streaming devices. You can stream our live YouTube broadcast through your PlayStation or Xbox gaming device, or through streaming devices like Google Chromecast, Apple TV, or Roku. There's plenty of ways to follow this live local sporting event. Plus, you can find past events archived on 1490 The Score's YouTube channel. Find us on YouTube and subscribe today to keep up with the latest in local sports coverage.
For over 100 years, Douglas County Farmers Co-op has been serving the needs of farmers, ranchers, and homeowners throughout Southern Oregon. Here, everyone is welcome. When you shop with us, you can expect good people, good products, and good advice. No membership needed. Just bring yourself, and we'll provide the expertise and products you need to tackle your next project. Douglas County Farmers Co-op, where everyone is welcome to shop.
When the first Cascade branch opened in 1948, things were a lot different here. The fact they're still here says a lot about the way they do business.
Staying in business for 75 years requires the cooperation of generations. It's the desire to learn and grow with your community.
My account number is only 5 digits long. What that tells me is that this is a local credit union.
Cascade Community Credit Union would like to thank you for 75 years of growth and support here in Douglas County.
Back here with more of our pregame on The Score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM, as the Roseburg girls get ready to take on the number 2 ranked Willamette Wolverines in a Southwest Conference doubleheader for you tonight. Girls up first. We'll have the boys later this evening as well. And joining me now is head coach Chad Smith. Coach, the girls, how do you feel like the team's been looking the last couple of weeks? It's been a little while since we've gotten a chance to see the team in person. I know win-loss-wise is always a battle you guys are going to be trying to fight for, but how do you feel like the team's coming along this season?
Yeah, we're progressing. We've been unfortunate. We've run into a lot of injuries. I think right now we've got 4 girls with significant time that we've missed. Like the other night, we lost Emily Morello for a few games because of a concussion. She's kind of our floor general, and it's going to be a tough one to fill tonight. But the girls show up every day. We work hard. They're progressing. Their basketball IQ is increasing. So I like what I see.
The injuries definitely kind of derail things, but it kind of puts other people in different positions. How you feeling about kind of, I guess, the people that step into some roles with other folks out, or folks that are kind of the backups that are getting a little bit more floor time out there?
It's one of those things, we call it next man up. And we're going to call on some sophomores tonight to step up and get some significant time here and there to get some of our starters some time off the floor. And they've done some good things in practice, and we're hoping that continues. They've worked hard. All the girls have continued to work hard. Like I said, it's just that trying to find those wins. It's tough. We play in, I'd say, the toughest conference in the state, and we're right in the middle of that. Facing number 4, whatever they are, South Medford, and Willamette number 2. This will be the second time this year we've played a number 2 ranked team, where we played Forest Grove earlier in the year. So it's been quite a season for us with our opponents.
Yeah, for sure. And you didn't get any help from the schedule because you get these ones early in the conference season, but you're going to have to face them eventually. Willamette is a program that we've seen a lot of success out of them through the years, from the 5A ranks back up to the 6A now. What things do they do well, and what have you seen about them on tape?
They are as good a club as I've seen. Every girl that's going to step on the floor, with the exception of one, is over 6 foot tall. They've got long, lean levers. They're led by Bryn Smith, who one of the best ball players in the conference, if not the state. They shoot the ball very well from the perimeter, and they like to play defense. So we've really got to execute on what we try and do offensively, our press break, recognizing what they're trying to do to us defensively, and we got to play as a team. If we play as a team, well, we'll see what happens. If we don't play as a team, it's going to be a long night for us.
Oh, and I imagine, when teams get flustered, and I think I read a little bit about kind of that North Medford game, that they started using a bit more of a press, and it really got you guys out of a bit of a rhythm. I know that's always seems to be something that we talk about, and how much it seems like teams want to try and press, especially against you guys. How do you feel like the team is kind of grown and being able to handle that kind of pressure that they're going to see from a team?
It's a continual process. It's never, you think you've got it down, and then the next thing you know, they throw a little bit of a wrinkle, and that's the one thing we're trying to teach our girls, is that just because we say they might be in a certain spot in practice doesn't mean that's where they're going to be, and we have to learn how to read. And once we learn how to read the floor, and when we read the floor properly, we break the press as well as anybody in the state. But when we don't read the floor and we just throw anticipating that's where we said we're going to be open, we get into trouble.
You told me at the start of the season you thought this Willamette team had a chance to be probably the best team in this conference. South Medford hasn't dropped off at all, so that'll be a fun matchup when those two teams meet. But have you seen kind of what you expected out of Willamette as being a top contender in the state?
They are. They've got 8 girls on that roster, and those 8 girls, they've got 7 juniors and 1 freshman. And they've played together their whole life, so they do a great job of, they understand where everybody's going to be. They know tendencies. And they just don't have a lot of flaws. The one thing that might slow them down is South Medford's going to match up with them very, very well in terms of size. And then you always are worried about, can you get through a 6A season with only 8 girls? If they can, and they can get into the playoffs healthy, they're going to be a tough out.
Yeah. All right, Coach, appreciate the time, and best of luck to you guys out there tonight.
Thank you.
That is head coach Chad Smith joining us here during the pregame show for tonight's contest between Roseburg and Willamette. It's game 1 for us tonight. And the girls are up first. We'll have the boys game later on this evening. A rare doubleheader for us of Roseburg High basketball tonight here on The Score. I'm Joey Kieran. We've got a few more minutes to go here before tip-off to this one. We'll have a look at your starting lineups here in just a moment. As we get ready for the contest, taking a look back at where these two teams have been. For the Willamette Wolverines, they're coming off of a narrow victory in their last one. They haven't played in over a week. It was last Thursday they were in action against Grants Pass, a 50-47 victory in that one for the Willamette girls. A 3-point victory to stay undefeated in league play this season. So the Willamette Wolverines able to pick up that win. They're coming off of a season where they finished in 4th place at the state tournament after a 2nd place finish in the Southwest Conference. The Willamette girls went 20-8 last year. They were 9-3 in conference play. They finished second in the conference, then went off to state. They made it to the state tournament final site. They lost their first game, but then went on and won 2 games in the consolation bracket to finish with a 4th place trophy. They, again, are number 2 in this year's OSAA coaches poll so far in the most recent one there, and they have not lost to a team from the state of Oregon, except for, I should mention, I guess they did lose to Clackamas. They have just that one loss against a team from the state of Oregon. Coming up for Willamette, they'll be back to action again tomorrow as they have a makeup game against South Eugene. The weather up in that Willamette Valley area definitely causing some chaos with the schedule for high school sports up there. As for the Roseburg girls, they are 2-12 on the season, 0-2 in conference play, currently ranked number 46 by the OSAA Power Rankings. They are currently sitting at the bottom of the conference standings, but they're along with Sheldon and South Eugene as teams that have not won a conference game so far this year. The Roseburg girls coming off of a 54-42 loss against North Medford in their last game. The Roseburg girls only trailed by 1 at the end of the first quarter in that one. It was 13-12, but then North Medford pulled ahead by 7 at halftime, and they put the game away in the fourth quarter by outscoring Roseburg 17-13 in that matchup. Head coach Chad Smith was out sick in that game. Glad to see that he's back out there on the floor. Said that he got sick. It knocked him on his tail end for a few days, and unfortunately he's kind of making his way back to full strength out there on the floor. Thankfully for a head coach, you don't have to run up and down the floor too much. Hopefully the yelling doesn't get too much for him. Roseburg has lost its last 2 games. Their last win was a 44-18 victory over Aloha. That was back on January 5th. Roseburg comes in averaging 30.1 points per game. That's a good number for them. It's been a struggle sometimes offensively for them the last couple of years, but they've been improving there. But they do give up 44.8 points per game. On the other side for Willamette, they're a team that definitely can score the basketball. 57.5 points per game for the Wolverines, and they give up an average of 49. We'll see how things go here tonight for these 2 clubs. Right now in the Southwest Conference standings, you've got South Medford at the top of the standings, along with Willamette. Both teams are undefeated in league. South Medford 3-0. Willamette is 2-0. And then you've got North Medford at 2-1. Grants Pass at 1-2. South Eugene at 0-1. Sheldon at 0-2. And Roseburg at 0-2 as well. So that is a look at your Southwest Conference standings as we get ready to kick this one off here tonight. Looking around the rest of the Southwest Conference, well, there's not much else going on. As we mentioned, the weather up north has definitely played a part in some things. So Willamette and Roseburg, the only game going on here this evening. I do believe that initially Grants Pass was expected to be at South Eugene tonight, but that game, because 4J schools canceled school today, that game not happening here this evening. We're going to go ahead and take our final 2-minute break. When we come back, it's time for the starting lineups in tonight's matchup, so don't go anywhere. Roseburg and Willamette girls basketball when we return here on 541radio.com and on The Score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
Mountain Mike's, pizza the way it ought to be.
Deciding where to purchase your next vehicle is just as important as the vehicle itself. At Roseburg Honda, our seasoned staff is dedicated to matching you with the right car. From sales to service, our goal is to make sure all of your needs are met, and you leave our dealership feeling good every time you visit. No need to waste your valuable time driving up and down the freeway when the ultimate car buying experience is right here at home. Roseburg Honda. We treat you like family.
Are you an enthusiastic sports fan? Want to have fun and get in on the action?
Heck yes, that'd be awesome.
Have great attention to detail? Want to stay active?
Definitely.
Want to give back to the student athletes in your community?
Obviously, yes.
Then you'd make an excellent high school sports official. We need more officials in Oregon, because with no high school officials, there are no high school sports. Sign up today at highschoolofficials.com.
Do I have enough money put away to retire?
Plan for your future with confidence. At Palm Wealth Management, we'll help you see a clear path to financial peace of mind. Call Palm Wealth Management today.
Brook Communications radio stations have joined forces with the News Review and Lotus Web Services, announcing the Lotus Media Group, a multimedia enterprise. Web, broadcast, print. Make it happen with Lotus Media Group, LLC.
A beautiful rendition of our national anthem from the Roseburg High School Pep Band led by Brandon Hansen. And now it is time for a look at tonight's starting lineups. We'll start off with the visiting Willamette Wolverines. They're starting at 5. We'll have Maddie Warburg, a junior wing at 6 feet tall, along with a junior guard at 5 feet 5. That's Victoria Wynn. Bryn Smith is a junior guard at 6 feet tall, wearing number 14 tonight, for those that might need to know. And along with Harper Wagner, a junior forward at 6 feet tall, and then Isabella Harms, another junior at a forward position at 6 feet tall, led by head coach Danielle McBride. On the other side for the Roseburg girls, led by head coach Chad Smith, starting 5 with Sydney Montefiore, a senior at 5'8", a junior at 5'5", that's Bridget Brooksby. A sophomore getting into the starting 5 tonight for Roseburg, that's Michaela McClatcher. Also starting tonight, a senior at 5'11", Aria Smith, and at 5'8", a junior, Arlie Asen, getting the start tonight for Roseburg. That is a look at tonight's starting lineup for both these clubs. And now it is time to get this one underway. 8 minutes up on the board. Tonight's game streaming online at 541radio.com and on our YouTube channel. Search 1490 The Score and hit the subscribe button to follow Roseburg High sports throughout the school year. That video stream is brought to you by the Cow Creek Tribe. In the center circle, it will be Aria Smith, and she'll be jumping against Isabella Harms. Roseburg will be moving left to right on your radio dial, and Willamette will be going right to left. Willamette wearing the black jerseys tonight. Roseburg in the home whites. They redo the tip, and it is tipped and won by Roseburg as they'll move it into the front court. Asen will bounce it away left side to the right wing for McClatcher. She'll dribble out to the top. They work it to the left side for Roseburg. Asen with it, looking underneath. The ball taken away by Willamette. The Wolverines, so dangerous. They'll race into the front court. Out at the top, pass it away is Wagner. On the left side, a nice spin move by Wynn, but her shot off the back of the iron, no good. Pulled down by Aria Smith on the rebound. And Roseburg will get a stop on the opening possession for the Wolverines after a turnover on their first possession. Out at the top, McClatcher, a lot of dribbling, gets away from pressure, got into the left blocks, but to avoid a travel, she tried to toss it out to the top, and it's taken away by the Wolverines. They'll quickly move up the floor. Left side, a wing three is good, and that is Maddie Warburg on the three to get the scoring started for Willamette. 3-0 ball game here, early going. A minute ticked away. Pass tipped, gets to the far wing, out to the right side, down to the right blocks. Asen will pass it back out to the top for Brooksby. They work it around to the left side. McClatcher driving baseline. The sophomore cut off. She'll get it to Asen. That is Brooksby out at the top. She'll dribble right side. Picked up the dribble, defense right on top of her. Got it to McClatcher, behind the back dribble. 7 seconds on the shot clock, and she gets whistled for the dribble. She tried to step around, giving up quite a few inches to Harper Wagner. She got trapped underneath and gives it back to the Wolverines. 3-0 the score here. 6:35 to go, first quarter action. Willamette with the basketball as Wynn will bring it through the center circle as she works her way into the front court. Right-hand dribble, goes right side around a screen. She picks it up at the free throw line, bounce underneath, found a wide open teammate, Harper Wagner with the 2 to give Willamette a 5-0 lead. McClatcher bounces it through the defense, got it to Smith at the high post, finding a room underneath was Asen. Her shot just came up short, rebound underneath, fought for it, and Willamette brings it away. Up the floor on the right side, pull up for the 3, it rims off, fight for it underneath, and a putback bucket for Bryn Smith. It's a 7-0 run to start out the ball game for Willamette here with 5:50 to go, first quarter. Bounce through the defense, left side, an open look at a 3 for Montefiore, and she splashes it through. Sydney Montefiore gets Roseburg on the board, and Willamette will race up the floor quickly to the far side. That snaps the 7-0 run to start out the game, but answering in the far corner, a 3 by Isabella Harms. And that answers and stretches it back out to a 7-point ball game. Well, pitch and catch across the timeline for Roseburg. Bounce right side. Asen out to the top for Brooksby. She'll fire it out to the left side of the floor. McClatcher back, no-look pass to Brooksby. Right side, Asen away from the basket. Gets it out to Brooksby at the top. Crossover to her right into the corner. With it is McClatcher. Wanted to enter it in underneath, but it's poked away by Warburg. Out of bounds. It'll stay with Roseburg with 12 seconds on the shot clock. Smith will toss it out to the top. Pass was tipped, and going to retrieve it was McClatcher. Michaela backing her way in at the free throw line. Pass taken away. Breakaway, one-on-one. Pass left side. Found a teammate. Too strong. Rebound. Almost an offensive board for Willamette underneath. McClatcher is able to steal it away, and Roseburg will get the stop. Willamette putting pressure on, and a loose ball tipped out of bounds. It will go back to the Wolverines. A little bit of slapping at the basketball there by Willamette. I was a little surprised no whistle early on. 7-point game. 10-3 the score in favor of the Wolverines, ranked number 2 in the 6A classification. Left side, a 3. It's off the mark for Smith. Trying to track down the rebound. Tipped out of the hands of Sydney Montefiore. They'll inbound from the corner. Smith looking for an inbound target. Will dump it over the top of the defense. Backing her way in. Pass out. And the shot does not fall on the assist from Wagner. Out at the top, I believe that was Harms on the attempt. Nearing the midway point of this first quarter. 4:13 to go. It is 10-3. Pass across the floor. Another 3 by Montefiore. A bit short. Rebound loose. Tipped around. Kicked out towards midcourt. And it's still loose on the ground. Diving for it, McClatcher. And a whistle. Jump ball called. Possession arrow should favor Willamette after Roseburg won the opening tip. Exactly 4 minutes to go here in the first quarter of our contest. A 7-point lead for the Wolverines. Inbound to Wynn in the backcourt. She'll walk it across the timeline, working to our left here as we sit atop the grandstands. A screen went left, got underneath, but too short. Rebound underneath, pulled in by Asen. Roseburg races up the floor with Brooksby on the right side. Swiping at the basketball was Willamette. Pass underneath. Aria Smith squares up, tries to go with the step around. High off the glass, no good. Rebound pulled in by Willamette. Up the floor quickly on the transition. The bucket goes off the glass for 2 for Bryn Smith. Largest lead now for Willamette at 9. They try to trap in the front court. Montefiore works it through the defense, but it's taken away. And Willamette another breakout, 2-on-1, and the lay-in is good for Isabella Harms. Makes it a 14-3 ball game, and a timeout taken by Roseburg. We'll go ahead and use a 30-second timeout as well. It is an early lead for the Willamette Wolverines on 541radio.com and on the score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
To us, pizza the way it ought to be isn't just our slogan. It's our promise and our passion to give you the best dining experience and the best tasting pizza you expect. For over 40 years, we've been making pizza the way it ought to be. Handmade with the freshest and finest ingredients. Our dough is made fresh daily, and we use 100% whole milk mozzarella cheese and toppings edge to edge. There's pizza, and then there's Mountain Mike's Pizza. Pizza the way it ought to be.
Out of the timeout by Roseburg. The Indians with the basketball. Pass out to the top, knocked away. Montefiore able to track it down on the far side. 20 seconds to go on the shot clock. Out of that timeout from the left elbow. Toss out to the top. A three banks through for Grace Bachmeyer, who's entered into the game. Bachmeyer in her first time out there. She banks one through. Gets Roseburg another three-point bucket. A foul as Willamette will attack. That will send Bryn Smith to the free throw line. First free throws of the night. The foul will go. The foul goes against Shaylee Sykes, who is also checked into the ball game, bringing some height off the bench for Roseburg. First free throw goes through for Bryn Smith. Second free throw is good as well. She hits them both, stretches it to a 10-point ball game. Brooksby will bring it up, but her pass tipped immediately as she got to midcourt. It's that's Smith, and she will just hit the runner right in the middle of the lane. She's got 8 in the period. Roseburg dealing with the full court press here from Willamette. Another pass tipped away, almost stolen initially, but now getting it on the other side. That was Harper Wagner. She almost had the steal outright. A teammate helped her out, got it to her as she leaked down the floor. Another pass knocked, but able to get back to the loose ball was Montefiore. Steps around the defense, puts up the runner. It's no good, off the iron. Pulled down underneath by Montefiore, and a jump ball called. It'll stay with Roseburg. Heading to the bench will go Harper Wagner. Not a deep roster, as you heard head coach Chad Smith talking about for Willamette. Only 8 players. But they are a talented group. Inbound goes baseline to Asen. She went up, had her shot blocked, got the ball back, put up another one, and it's no good. Fight for the loose rebound. No. And Willamette comes away with it. Pass away right side. Head fake, driving baseline. Up with it goes Smith. And she's in double figures here early on, making it a 14-point ball game. Minute and a half to go in the opening quarter. Montefiore pass through the middle of the defense. Pass out to the far side. Roseburg's Bridget Brooksby was cutting towards the basket. The passer thought she was going to be out on the wing, and the miscommunication leads to the turnover. Couple of three-point buckets for Roseburg has got them on the board, but they trail by 14 here with 1:25 to go in the first period. Out at the top, pass it away to Jaden Ireland. On the right side, a three off the mark for Warburg. Offensive rebound and the putback underneath for Harms. 22-6. Willamette in front. Brooksby will run the point across the midcourt stripe, but her pass easily read and taken away. With the steal and the finish goes Smith. And Smith already a huge night for her. Has it out to a 24-6 ball game. Under a minute to go, first period. Pass through the middle. Sykes launches it into the far corner. Handled by Montefiore. Tried to drive. Steps around a defender. Finds an open teammate from the left elbow. Bachmeyer shot no, but Montefiore in the offensive board and the putback. Nice effort there for Sydney Montefiore. On the left side, a little shimmy shake going with the right hand. Pass it away, and a travel call on Victoria Wynn. Checking in for the Indians, Catherine Willis will come in for Sydney Montefiore, who has 5 here in the first period. 5 of the 8 points for Roseburg. Tribe with the basketball is Brooksby. He's been out there a lot, running the point. She'll get it to Sykes. Sykes pass it to the right block to Asen. Out to Bachmeyer. She drives towards the baseline, looking for the cutter. Tried to get it to Asen. It's tipped out of bounds. Stays with Roseburg. Shot clock is turned off with 15.4 seconds to go in the opening period. From the baseline, Bachmeyer will inbound. Enter it in underneath. Kick ball, it looked like. It'll stay with the Indians on the baseline. Inbound into the corner for Sykes. Bounce it out to the top for Willis. Working one-on-one with Wynn. Pass it into the corner. Driving baseline jumper. Just off the mark for Bachmeyer. An offensive board for Asen, but she couldn't get the putback bucket. Bring it up the floor quickly before the horn. A three is off the mark for Bryn Smith. At the end of one, it is 24-8. Willamette in front of Roseburg as we head to the second quarter in tonight's ball game. Take a 1-minute break here on 541radio.com and on the Score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
Hey there, sports fans. Thanks for watching this local sporting event online at 541radio.com. Did you know there's more than one way to watch games online? You can watch games on your laptop or desktop computer, your tablet, or even your smartphone just by going to 541radio.com. But we also use YouTube to stream all of our video broadcasts, which means you could be watching this game on your big screen TV with a number of different streaming devices. You can stream our live YouTube broadcast through your PlayStation or Xbox gaming device, or through streaming devices like Google Chromecast, Apple TV, or Roku. There's plenty of ways to follow this live local sporting event. Plus, you can find past events archived on 1490 The Score's YouTube channel. Find us on YouTube and subscribe today to keep up with the latest in local sports coverage.
Starting the second quarter, it is Willamette basketball. A three from the right side for Maddie Warburg is off. Arlie Asen having a nice night on the glass for the Indians. She gets it to Brooksby, racing up the floor. Tries to lay in from the right side, just a bit short. Rebound pulled down by Willamette. A score update, 26-8 is your score. That was the end of the first quarter score. I had it incorrectly at 24-8. A rebound underneath for Shaylee Sykes. Fought it away. She's got defenders all over her. Finds a way to get it to Brooksby, who brings it up the floor and into the front court. A nice job there by Sykes, the junior. A three from out at the top, just off the mark, trying to chase down the loose ball. And Sykes had it tipped out of her hands. It will be Willamette to come away with the miss after that three by Willis. Up the floor, the lay-in and the harm for Maddie Warburg. She hits the two and will go to the line for a three-point play. Out to a 20-point lead here in the second quarter. 28-8 right now for the Wolverines. Looking to add to it at the line will be Maddie Warburg, her first trip to the charity stripe. And she will hit the free throw for the and one. Brooksby will bring it up the floor for Roseburg. Pass it away, get it right back into the right wing. Willis with it, looking underneath. Pump fake, finds a cutter. Her pass tipped, loose ball. It's taken away by Victoria Wynn. She wanted to fire a laser up the floor. Instead, she gets a one-handed bounce pass. Beautiful pass underneath. The shot just off the mark, but a rebound for Wagner. And a second look for Willamette. On the left side, a travel call on Maddie Warburg. Warburg will give it back to Roseburg with Willamette leading at 29-8. Tonight's contest brought to you by Cascade Community Credit Union, belong to Douglas County. And by our friends at DC Farmers Co-op, where everyone is welcome to shop. McClatcher is back into the game for Roseburg. Gets it to Bachmeyer, into the corner for Asen. She'll dribble away from it. Tried to give it to Aria Smith, but it bounced off of Smith. Right back to Asen. And then the shot goes out, and last touch by Willamette on the miss by Roseburg. Victoria Wynn will check out of the game. Bryn Smith back in. 6:19 to go here in the second quarter. McClatcher inbounding will get it to Montefiore, who is checked back in. A fight for it underneath. Body's hitting the floor. And we look for a call on the whistle. A foul or a jump ball. They're going to call the foul on Maddie Warburg. And Roseburg will keep the possession. McClatcher will inbound from the baseline, standing on the O in Roseburg. Looking, gets it to Montefiore on the left block. She'll dribble it out to the free throw line, and she will get whistled for a travel. Drug the pivot foot, She tried to set up for a pass out. Willamette basketball, 6:13 to go in the second quarter. The talented Wolverines leading big already by 21. Lob it left side. Back out to the top for Smith. Pump fake, gets to the free throw line. Back to the corner on the left side to Wagner's. Has her dribble, uses one into the middle. Back out to Smith. Tried to step around a defender, gets a screen, pass it into the corner for Warburg. Out to the top for Wagner. One dribble into the corner now. A three, a little flat out of the hand for Bryn Smith, but she nails it anyway. And that three-pointer will make it 32-8. Willamette in front. First three-pointer for Bryn Smith on the night. Clatcher into the front court. Work it to the left side. At the wing. Brooksby with it. Bachmeyer to Montefiore straight away. Head fake. Drives left side. Tries for the scoop shot. No. It's taken away by Willamette. They'll work up the floor. Smith to the left side. Wagner a three. It's long. Weak side rebound pulled in by Warburg. Out to the top for Wagner. Get it right back to the right side for Warburg. She'll set up for the three. It's short, and rebound pulled down by Bachmeyer. Roseburg will get the stop after a couple of three attempts by the Wolverines. 5:01 to play here in the first half. Push pass to the near side for Asen out on the perimeter. She'll dribble to the top for Roseburg. Tried to find Aria Smith cutting to the hoop. The pass got tipped to McClatcher. McClatcher's shot, though, hits the bottom side of the rim, taken away by Willamette. Weaving up the floor in the middle, off the mark for Smith. She'll get it back on the offensive rebound for Jaden Ireland. Out to the top for Smith again. Underneath, Asen has a rebound taken out of her hands by Wagner. It'll be a third look here. Pulling up for the jumper, no. McClatcher underneath will get the rebound this time. And she draws a foul. That's off the miss there by Wagner. And Roseburg will have the basketball. Second team foul against Willamette here in the second quarter. Asen will get a breather, so does Bachmeyer. Into the game for Roseburg. Ellen Miller checks in. Also into the game is Kennedy Smith. Foul called against Willamette. Roseburg will have the basketball near midcourt, inbounding in front of the scorer's table. Going to reset the shot clock. Maybe not a foul. McClatcher will get it to Montefiore. Out near midcourt, double team. Her pass taken away. Willamette with it up the floor for Smith. From the left side with the right hand goes Bryn Smith. She's got 5 in the period to add to the 12 from the first quarter. Makes it 34-8. McClatcher into the front court, dribbles left side, jump stop at the elbow, turnaround jumper, no. Underneath, Aria Smith there for the rebound, gets hit as she's coming down with it. And they'll call the foul against Wagner. That is the first against Wagner. Roseburg inbounds from their own baseline. Clatcher looking, gets the cutter. Back out. A three from straight away, just a bit short there for Kennedy Smith. It grazed the net as it went by, but unfortunately just needed another couple of inches. Smith brings up the basketball on the right side. Running the point. Bryn Smith at 6 feet tall. They got a lot of length on this Willamette team. A left side three. That one splashes through for Isabella Harms, her second. 37-8 your score. Here in the first half of the ball game. Knew it would be an uphill battle for Roseburg against this extremely good Willamette team. They take away another one. Breakaway attempt at the lay-in from the right side. It's good for Wagner. 39-8. And Willamette just does not let up. They are competitors. Pass to the free throw line for Smith. Attacks right side underneath. Gets the foul call. That's going to go against Aaliyah Ireland. We've got Jaden and Aaliyah. Aaliyah is a freshman. She will get whistled for the foul there. I believe I saw her on the floor for the JV game earlier. Maybe just for a few moments. First free throw goes through for Aria Smith. First trip to the line for Roseburg here tonight. Second free throw coming up. The Roseburg JV team did win earlier. They get a 57-22 victory over the Willamette JV team. Second free throw back of the iron. It's pulled down by Willamette. As 1 of 2 at the line goes Smith. A long two from the right side, off the mark, underneath. Rebound for Wagner, goes up and gets hit. I believe that was Smith swatting at the basketball. It's going to send Willamette back to the free throw line. Harper Wagner, her first trip to the stripe. 3 of 3 at the charity stripe so far for the Wolverines. And there's the first miss of the night as Harper Wagner misses the front end. Substitutions coming in for the Wolverines. Tonight's game brought to you by More Well Drilling, specializing in residential well drilling and available for commercial projects too. Call 541-580-5660 for a free estimate. Second free throw goes in for Harper Wagner. And it makes it 40-9 with 2:57 to go in the first half. Willamette will use a timeout. Let's burn a 30-second break as well. This is Roseburg girls basketball on 541radio.com and on the Score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM. Okay, 30.
For over 100 years, Douglas County Farmers Co-op has been serving the needs of farmers, ranchers, and homeowners throughout Southern Oregon. Here, everyone is welcome. When you shop with us, you can expect good people, good products, and good advice. No membership needed. Just bring yourself, and we'll provide the expertise and products you need to tackle your next project. Douglas County Farmers Co-op, where everyone is welcome to shop.
2:57 to go here in the second quarter of our contest. Tonight's contest is brought to you by Fisher's Hearth and Home, serving Douglas County for over 30 years with the largest selection of wood, gas, pellet, and electric stoves and fireplaces in the area. First half action here. It's a big lead for Willamette. Not to say that we expected that, but it's not surprising, that's for sure. This Willamette team is so very good. A pass tipped out of bounds as they continue to pressure near midcourt. Michaela McClatcher was running the point, tried to pass it away, and it got tipped out of bounds. She'll get it and work it into the front court. Pass into the middle to Smith, but Smith's pass tipped away, taken away by the Wolverines again. The extra pass by Smith. She found Harms, who gets hit in the act of shooting. Will head to the free throw line. Did not get the bucket, so it'll be 2 shots here. While we've got a break in the action, let's go ahead and pause 10 seconds for station identification. This is Roseburg basketball on the Score. Both free throws go through for Isabella Harms, and it is 42-9. Willamette in front. Bass is kicked by Bryn Smith, and it'll stay with Roseburg. Clatcher trying to bounce one past the defense. Montefiore will get it on the inbound. Double team trying to trap her here in the front court. They swatted at it. Montefiore dribbles away from the pressure, gets to the right blocks. Another double team comes. She finds McClatcher in the corner, gets it right back, tries to dribble through pressure, and it's taken away. Roseburg trying to trap. They are unable to do so. Wynn lobs up the floor to the right side, and a travel on Maddie Warburg. And a look to the bench. Head coach Danielle McBride saying, shoot that. Giving her players the encouragement to pull the trigger. Speaking of which, a 3 from the left side almost goes down for Montefiore. Rebound ripped down by the Wolverines. That was Wagner on the rebound, driving through the middle. Smith kicks into the left corner. A 3 rattles in for Isabella Harms. Her third 3 of the first half. It's 45-9. McClatcher bounce it to the high post, onto the right side. With it, bounce away by Miller. Dribbling through pressure is McClatcher. Her pass tipped into the corner. Miller, lob across the floor. Montefiore head fake. A long 2 from the baseline. Back iron just off the mark. Rebound pulled down by Smith. Looking up the floor. She's going to dribble, weaving through the defense. Gets to the right side. Step around the defender. Gets the bucket and a foul. Bryn Smith, labeled as probably one of the best guards in the state by head coach Chad Smith. For the Roseburg girls, she's had a huge first half. She's got 19, looking to make it 20 here at the free throw line. Substitutions in for Roseburg. Kalia Smith will check into the game. Grace Bachmeyer is back in. And Bridget Brooksby also came off the bench to take over on the floor as well. The and one free throw here for Smith. Hits the front iron, dances around, and will drop in. Makes it 48-9. Brooksby pass it away right side. That pass tipped out of bounds. It'll stay with the Indians. Just at the end of the Willamette bench for the inbound play here. It'll be Brooksby to fire it in. Into the corner. Bachmeyer had an open look. Launches a rainbow three. It hits off the support beam. Off the top of the backboard and out of bounds. 48-9. Down to about a minute to go here in this first half. Out to the top for Smith. Looking underneath. She's going to take the dribble to the free throw line. Pass it back out. A three splashes in. Isabella Harms her fourth three of the ball game already. And she's having a big night as well. 51-9. Pass to the middle of the defense. Out to the right corner. And the pass by Miller is knocked out of bounds. Some of these JV players getting a chance to play tonight for Roseburg. They're a bit shorthanded with Emily Morello out due to a concussion and Micaiah McClatcher out because she was sick. Bounce it to the baseline for Smith. That's Kalia Smith. Her shot almost goes down, but it just spits out of the cylinder after the bank shot. Wynn puts it up the floor. Step back on the three. Drops in for Bryn Smith. Her second three of the period. And this one running away 54-9. After scoring 8 points in the first quarter, just one here in the second for Roseburg, and a shot does not fall. A couple have just been right down the middle of the cylinder and spit back out. Out at the midcourt stripe, almost taken away by Roseburg. Wynn will pass it left side. Harms holds. 5 seconds to go in the first half. Wynn backing her way in. Gets it to Smith, who will get whistled for the travel. That comes with 0.7 seconds on the clock before we go to the halftime break. Inbound knocked away, and that will do it for the first half of tonight's ball game. At the break, it is 54-9. Willamette in front of Roseburg. We'll go ahead and come back with the halftime show after this 2-minute timeout. At the break, it is a big lead for the Willamette Wolverines, 54-9. We'll recap the first half for you and get you a look at some of the individual statistics when we come back after this quick timeout. 2 minutes here on 541radio.com and on the Score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
Successful companies have a very important secret. Good advertising works and makes them money. That's why your business should contact Lotus Media Group. Let us help you cash in with multimedia advertising. Multiple touches from Douglas County's only Google certified partner and most effective advertising platform. Web, broadcast, print. Make it happen. LotusMediaGroupLLC.com.
To us, pizza the way it ought to be isn't just our slogan. It's our promise and our passion to give you the best dining experience and the best tasting pizza you expect. For over 40 years, we've been making pizza the way it ought to be. Handmade with the freshest and finest ingredients. Our dough is made fresh daily, and we use 100% whole milk mozzarella cheese and toppings edge to edge. There's pizza, and then there's Mountain Mike's Pizza. Pizza the way it ought to be.
Looking for more local sports coverage? CBS Sports Radio 1490 The Score has you covered. Check out our homepage at 541radio.com for sports stories, scores, and podcasts. And follow us on social media. 1490 The Score is on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. And take the station with you wherever you go with the 541 Radio app. Download the app in your smartphone's app store and get access to a live stream of the station, sports stories, podcasts, and easy messaging with the station and others.
For over 100 years, Douglas County Farmers Co-op has been serving the needs of farmers, ranchers, and homeowners throughout Southern Oregon. Here, everyone is welcome. When you shop with us, you can expect good people, good products, and good advice. No membership needed. Just bring yourself, and we'll provide the expertise and products you need to tackle your next project. Douglas County Farmers Co-op, where everyone is welcome to shop.
Back here at halftime from Roseburg High School, where the Roseburg girls in action against the number 2 ranked Willamette Wolverines. The Wolverines showing exactly why they are such a well-ranked team and definitely a contender for the state championship this year. They lead at 54-9 tonight here on The Score. Welcome into the halftime show. We will recap the first half for you here real quick, and then we will take a look at some individual statistics as well. I want to remind you, coming up in the postgame show for the girls' game here, we'll name our Mountain Mike's Pizza player of the game for the Roseburg girls, and we'll also keep track of the rebounds to give you the Colorcraft in the paint rebound leader tonight for Roseburg. Colorcraft, they're the only Benjamin Moore dealer in Douglas County, so when it's time for you to get in the paint, you can expect perfect matches with Colorcraft and Benjamin Moore. Remember, Colorcraft, they're a paint store, not a paint department. Well, definitely Roseburg was hoping for a little bit more there in the first half, but that defense from the Willamette Wolverines, so very tough. And they really clamped down in the second quarter where Roseburg only manages 1 point. It was 26-8 your score at the end of the first quarter. And the Willamette Wolverines leading by 18 at that point in time. They continue to stretch the lead there in the second quarter as Roseburg gets one free throw made by Aria Smith. She went 1 of 2 at the line in the second quarter, and that was all Roseburg managed to get. They had a couple of shots that looked so close to going down, but they just spit right back out of the cylinder. So we'll see how things go as they flip to the other side of the floor. Maybe they can get some more shots to fall in the other basket. Meanwhile, it seemed like everything going the way for the Willamette Wolverines. Granted, they were getting a lot of breakaway lay-in attempts as they were playing some real tough defense. Willamette in that first half, though, did hit 7 3-pointers, 4 of them for Isabella Harms. Roseburg had 2 3-pointers in the first half of tonight's ball game. At the break, it is 54-9. Willamette in front big over the Roseburg Indians. We're going to go ahead and take another 2-minute break. When we come back, we will get an opportunity to check a look at your individual scoring from the first half of tonight's ball game. So don't go anywhere. We've got more Roseburg basketball coming up for you. A 2-minute timeout here on the halftime break on 541radio.com and on The Score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
Mountain Mike's Pizza, the way it ought to be.
Deciding where to purchase your next vehicle is just as important as the vehicle itself. At Roseburg Honda, our seasoned staff is dedicated to matching you with the right car. From sales to service, our goal is to make sure all of your needs are met, and you leave our dealership feeling good every time you visit. No need to waste your valuable time driving up and down the freeway when the ultimate car buying experience is right here at home. Roseburg Honda. We treat you like family.
Are you an enthusiastic sports fan? Want to have fun and get in on the action?
Heck, yes, that'd be awesome.
Have great attention to detail? Want to stay active?
Definitely.
Want to give back to the student athletes in your community?
Obviously, yes.
Then you'd make an excellent high school sports official. We need more officials in Oregon, because with no high school officials, there are no high school sports. Sign up today at highschoolofficials.com.
Do I have enough money put away to retire?
Plan for your future with confidence. At Palm Wealth Management, we'll help you see a clear path to financial peace of mind. Call Palm Wealth Management today.
Brook Communications radio stations have joined forces with the News Review and Lotus Web Services, announcing the Lotus Media Group, a multimedia enterprise. Web, broadcast, print. Make it happen with Lotus Media Group, LLC.
Back here at halftime from Robertson Memorial Gymnasium. The second half just about to get underway. Coming up after the girls' game, we'll have coverage of the Roseburg boys hosting the Willamette Wolverines. Both boys teams out on the floor right now getting warmed up for the second half of our contest coming up. So stay tuned for that. And we'll have that coverage. A nice doubleheader for you tonight between Roseburg and Willamette. Girls up first, boys coming up second. Taking a look at scoring from the first half of tonight's ball game. Obviously, Willamette leading big, and their stars are starring. Bryn Smith in the first half finishes with 23 points in the first half. She had a couple of three-pointers and was 3 for 3 at the free throw line. 18 points for Isabella Harm. She had 4 three-pointers in the first half of the contest. Went 2 for 2 at the charity stripe. You've got 7 points in the game for Harper Wagner and 6 points for Maddie Warburg this first half of this ball game. And Willamette was 7 for 8 at the free throw line in the first half of the contest. As for the Roseburg girls, leading scorer in the matchup with 5 points is Sydney Montefiore. Had a three-pointer in the first quarter. A three-pointer for Grace Bachmeyer. She has those 3 points. And Aria Smith with a 1 for 2 trip at the free throw line has the 1 point. A leading rebounder through the first half by my tally, which is unofficial, and I probably missed at least 1 or 2 in there. But Arlie Asen right now leading the Roseburg girls in rebounding as she is looking to try and pick up a in the Paint Rebound Leader Award here tonight. Tonight's ball game is brought to you by Flyaway Travel. When you get ready to take that dream trip, contact the travel experts at Travel Leader Flyaway Travel, and make sure that you have an agent in your corner during complicated travel times. Call Flyaway at 672-5701. Just about get the third quarter underway. Gives us a perfect opportunity to let you know about our the Score Squares game, which is presented by All Wired Up. The big game right around the corner here as the football playoffs are underway. That means it's time to head to the Score homepage at 541radio.com to claim a square before the big game on February 11th. You could win a 55-inch TV plus a wall mount or a sound bar from All Wired Up here in Roseburg. We've also got other prizes available from B&D Meats down in Winston. You can get all the details and get registered for a square by heading to 541radio.com. It's the Score Squares game presented by All Wired Up with additional sponsorship from B&D Meats in Winston. Third quarter just about to get underway here from Robertson Memorial Gymnasium. Roseburg will start with the basketball as we are just about to start the third quarter of the contest. Roseburg will start with Asen Smith, Aria Smith, Bridget Brooksby, Sydney Montefiore, and make sure I get the right McClatcher. Michaela McClatcher. Micaiah is out sick tonight. That'll be the starters. Those are the original starting 5 on the floor for Roseburg tonight. Start the second half. They will be moving right to left on your radio dial as they work into the front court. A runner from the baseline just off the mark for Brooksby underneath. Asen got the offensive board, but she was standing on the baseline after she took a step to try and pass it away. And so it'll be back over to the Willamette Wolverines to start things off here in the third quarter. They lead 54-9. Dribbling around, circle to the right side, pass out to the left, out for a 3, splashes through. Harms has her 5th of the ball game. Boy, she is on fire. Ball nearly taken away, and it's Bryn Smith. She was just short on her lay-in there. That's one that she probably was going to want back. Clatcher comes away with the board, works into the front court, bounces it a short pass to Montefiore. She'll work it to the far side. Got the defender in the air, did Roseburg's Brooksby. Got it back to Montefiore, underneath to Smith. Ball is poked away. And stepping on the baseline, Willamette will give it back to Roseburg. Maddie Warburg was double-teamed and trapped. And she steps on the baseline. Inbound pass, tipped up and out of bounds on the far side. Stays with Roseburg again. 7:03 to go here in the third quarter. From the far corner, Montefiore bounces it into Asen. Arlie tried to pass it away to Cutting McClatcher, almost there, but taken away by the Wolverines. Behind the back dribble, finished with the left hand. That was pretty for Maddie Warburg. She's now got 8 in the contest. I think I accidentally gave him a 3 there. Sorry about that. 59-9. 50-point lead here for the Wolverines. Baseline runner, Arlie Eason, gets her first points of the night. And the first field goal for Roseburg since the first quarter. On the other side, though, quickly answering Bryn Smith will drain the 3. Her third of the night from long range. Bounce to the middle. Montefiore had it poked away. She gets it back. Toss into the far corner. Smith works to the right elbow. Tried to get it to Montefiore. Tipped out, and it's going to go to Willamette. Substitution in. It'll be Jaden Ireland. Full length of the floor to go. Wynn will pass it away left side. Got a screen. Racing to the rim goes Isabella Harms. The junior finishes from the left side with the right hand. She's having a big night. 64-11. Out of the top, Montefiore, right side. As she lost her balance, it's poked away, but then Roseburg will get the steal right back by Brooksby. She'll bounce it away right side. Try to get the give and go with Aria Smith. The pass back to Brooksby, tipped out of bounds. It stays with Roseburg. Inbound to Asen in the right corner, out to Brooksby on the wing. Montefiore comes to help in the right corner, tries to get some space against Harms. Tried to go with the step around, her shot blocked, and Montefiore tried to race to get back to it and knock it away, but she knocks it out of bounds. Willamette will keep it. Wynn will bring it up through the center circle. Nearly had it swiped away by Brooksby. Works right side, between the leg dribble. Clears back out to the top, around a screen right side. Crossover at the free throw line, kicks back out. Pass to the left side. Ireland almost threw it away. Tried to get it to a teammate. She started to cut, but got back and recovered in time. Warburg will pass it away left side. Head fake, driving baseline. Harms kicks into the corner. A 3 by Wynn. The rainbow shot will fall through. Victoria Wynn gets her first points of the evening. 67-11. Michaela McClatcher on the right side. Drives, kicks out to Montefiore on the right wing. Trying to work into the corner, launches a 3. No, weak side rebound tipped, and Montefiore will end up collecting it on the far side. That one tightrope down the baseline, and Montefiore happened to be in the right spot. Roseburg showing a bit of fatigue here, and just I think the score helping fatigue them a little bit more than they normally would. Trying to keep themselves in it, out to the top. Fire underneath, pass knocked away at first. Wagner with it, out to Harms for another 3 off the right iron. Skying up for the rebound as Aria Smith pulls it in. This third quarter moving quickly, nearing the midway point. Brooksby walks it across the timeline. Crossover goes back to her right. Montefiore comes to get it to help out between the circles. She'll look to attack. Stops out at the top, draws back out. And will look to Smith, pass it away. Smith fires to the right side, driving baseline, got around the defender. Brooksby's shot too strong. She ends up on the ground in the padding, and the rebound pulls down by Willamette. Up the floor quickly comes Wagner. She'll toss it across the floor. That's Warburg in the corner, back out to Harms. And you might think that Willamette would start putting in some secondary players, but just not a very deep bench with only 8 players on the bench. And an offensive foul called against Willamette. So we're going to see some of those familiar names, not a ton of other options on the bench, and that's by design. Not a ton of other options, though, for Willamette. So they keep rotating through some of their starters despite having a huge lead here in the third quarter. Timeout's going to be taken, and Willamette's going to use it, so we're going to use one as well. Let's take a 30-second timeout, and we'll come back with more of this third quarter action for you here on 541radio.com and on the Score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
How should I be investing my money?
Plan for your future with confidence. At Palm Wealth Management, we'll help you see a clear path to financial peace of mind. Call Palm Wealth Management today.
Mountain Mike's. Pizza the way it ought to be.
Roseburg basketball tonight here on The Score, a double header for you. Stick around. The boys' game's going to be coming up a little bit later on. For those that might be watching online with us here tonight, for your instructions, we will start a new broadcast of the boys' game. So the game you're watching right now online, if you're watching that, it will come to an end when the game is over and our postgame is done, and then we'll start a new broadcast for the boys' game. You can find it on our same YouTube channel, or you can also find it on 541radio.com on the same page you're watching this game. So you don't have to look far to find the boys' game coming up. Out of the timeout, Roseburg basketball, it is poked away by Willamette, and the Wolverines will get the possession back out of the timeout, leading big. On the right side, Bryn Smith, pass it away to Jaden Ireland. Ireland will get it to Wagner. She drives in, hits the runner as she stumbled on a defender. And Wagner will make it 69-11. 2:58 to go. I was hopeful. I knew it was going to be a tough one here for the Roseburg girls tonight, but I've covered 2 of their games so far, and that's the 2 wins they've had here at home. So, at least I'm trying to, I think that's been the case. Feels like that's right. I know that they've done all right. Roseburg's got to inbound the basketball. It goes into the right corner to Michaela McClatcher. So I've seen some of the good that they can do. Double dribble for Roseburg. McClatcher turns it over, the sophomore. I've seen the improvement this team has made, but they've played some tough games, some tough opponents, and their conference is not an easy one, that is for sure. Into the front court, Willamette with the basketball. The Wolverines back to the 6A classification for their second season back at 6A after being at the 5A for a while. Out to the right side, a travel. Took an extra step before she got the basketball down, did Maddie Warburg. Roseburg will have the basketball in front of the Willamette bench. Brooksby brings it up through the center circle. No, it was Central Catholic. That was not a win, but it was a close competitive game in that one. That's what it was. Didn't remember doing Aloha. That was the other win for Roseburg after the season opener win, which we were here for. Bounce pass away on the far side, goes out of bounds. It comes back to the Wolverines. Delaney Smith, a junior, will get a round of applause as she gets into the game here tonight. Bryn Smith brings the ball up, dribbling right side, jump stop, pass it away, far side 3, off the front iron, no. Rebound pulled down by Aaliyah Ireland, a 3 by Smith, no, and it's Sykes with the rebound. Shaylee Sykes gets the board after the miss there by Willamette. 1:44 to go here in the third quarter. Pass it away right side for Sykes. You've got Sykes, Brooksby, Bachmeyer, Asen, and McClatcher on the floor for Roseburg. Lob it to the left side. Asen finds Bachmeyer cutting. They tried to give and go. It goes right to the defense. Smith will bring it up. Looking right side. She'll toss it into the corner. Dribbling in. That's the freshman, Aaliyah Ireland. Her shot off the mark. Rebound tipped out to Roseburg. Tonight's game, the video stream, brought to you by the Cow Creek Tribe, our video stream sponsor this year at 541radio.com and on our YouTube channel. On the right side, Brooksby fires it out to Ace and head fake. Had the ball knocked out of her hand. She'll get it back. Dribbling right side, Brooksby into the corner. Has Ireland on her, and she tried to pass it along the baseline. It's taken away by Wagner. Smith will get it to run the point. Right-hand dribble up the right side. Just fluid with the basketball around the screen left. The pick and roll on the right side. And Aaliyah Ireland, her first points of the night, as she gets one to rattle through the cylinder. Makes it 71-11. 33 seconds to go, third quarter. Bachmeyer bounce it to the high post of McClatcher. Knocked away. Willamette with the steal. Up the floor. Smith draws it back out. Looks for the cutter through. It's tipped up into the corner. Saved back in for Willamette. They'll reset with 18 seconds on the clock. Drawing back out is Smith. Shot clock turned off. Down to 12. 10 9, driving right side. Smith tucks it in, throws up the shot. No, Sykes with the rebound. And with 1 second, a half-court shot, no good. At the end of 3, it is 71-11. We'll take a 1-minute break and come back here on 541radio.com and on the Score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
At Douglas County Farmers Co-op, we want your four-legged friends to be healthy and happy. That's why we stock a carefully curated selection of pet, equine, and livestock supplies. From the premium foods your pets crave to grooming and show supplies that help you shine in the show ring, you'll find it at Douglas County Farmers Co-op. Our knowledgeable staff are here to help with those tough pet and livestock care questions. Stop by or shop at DouglasCountyFarmersCoop.com.
I'm confused by the huge market swings.
Get a better understanding of your finances. At Palm Wealth Management, we care about your priorities and help restore financial security. Call Palm Wealth Management today.
Mountain Mike's, pizza the way it ought to be.
Start of the fourth quarter coming up for Roseburg and Willamette girls basketball. Leading things off tonight, we'll have the boys game coming up next. Tonight's game brought to you by Palm Wealth Management, a member of D.A. Davidson & Company, member SIPC. Willamette will start with the basketball, moving left to right on your radio dial. Out at the top, Wagner with it. Gets it to Jaden Ireland. Pass it right side to Isabella Harms. One-hand push pass to the far side to Wagner. Back to Harms. Willamette will look to find just kind of the easy shot and wait to get one off before the shot clock. A 3 by Harms. No. Long rebound out. It's taken down by Delaney Smith. A reach-in foul by Roseburg. And that'll be the first here in the fourth quarter. Tonight's contest also sponsored by Barnes Heating and Cooling, your complete energy company. Visit barnesheatingandcooling.com or call them at 541-459-1545. Inbound, dribble into the right corner for Smith. Lob into the middle. The freshman getting more minutes here in this blowout win for Willamette. Her shot was off the mark, pulled in underneath by Kalia Smith after the miss there by Aaliyah Ireland. Roseburg with Sydney Montefiore on the floor, along with Ellen Miller, who dribbles it right side. Pass it away to Aria Smith. Smith looks for the cutter. That was Kennedy Smith. Back out to Aria. Kennedy gets it on the right wing. The fifth starter out there here for the fourth quarter is Ellen Miller. I think I mentioned Miller. You've got Miller, Kalia Smith, Kennedy Smith, Sydney Montefiore, and Aria Smith out there. On the left side, Jaden Ireland tosses it back out. Isabella Harms will get it, draws it out. Pass it away right side. Delaney Smith will launch a 3. Ooh, looked on target just a bit too long. And the bench for Willamette was ready to celebrate for the junior getting into the game here. Rebound down to Roseburg. Montefiore brings it up the floor. Push left side. With it is Miller. She'll dribble, that is Kennedy Smith. Back to Montefiore. Drives right side. Double team help defense comes. And that ball was blocked, but they got a lot of the body for Sydney Montefiore. She heads to the free throw line. Clock continues to run with a mercy rule in effect here for the fourth quarter. First free throw for Sydney Montefiore. Goes through. Her first trip to the free throw line here. And her second free throw rims out. So 1 of 2 at the line. 71-12 your score. Out at the top. Harms will pass it away left side. Smith almost loses the handle. Bounce down to the low blocks, backing her way in. Aaliyah Ireland, turnaround, shot, no good. Montefiore there for the board. Brings it up the floor, pushing right side. Cut off by Delaney Smith, who leaves her all alone. Montefiore launches the 3. It's off the mark, and it was saved back in by Ellen Miller, but standing on the baseline, Kalia Smith couldn't keep the possession. So it'll be back to the Wolverines. Maddie Warburg has come back into the game for Isabella Harms. 4.5 to go here in the contest. Coming up, we'll keep it on the airwaves here for Game 2 of our night. We will have an interview with head coach Jordan Humphreys for the Roseburg boys as we set up the boys game coming up against the Willamette coming up next here on The Score. On the left side with it is Warburg at the free throw line cutoff. Out to the top. Got a player in that's not on my roster. Probably a JV swing player for Willamette. Warburg out at the top. Launches a three and hit in the act of shooting. So she will head to the free throw line for a three-point play. Clock will continue to run here. I believe that might be... Well, there's not a 21 on any roster for Willamette. So I'm not exactly sure who that is that has checked into the game for the Wolverines. First free throw misses for Maddie Warburg. Second free throw coming up here. She hits that one. She's got three coming. Into the game for Roseburg, Grace Ibsen, the junior, will take over for Aria Smith. It was Ellen Miller that picked up the foul, the send Warburg to the free throw line. She gets 2 out of the 3 to make it 73-12. Pass left side. Bounce it through. Ibsen found the cutter. That was Miller. Her shot, though, off the mark. The rebound down to the Wolverines with 2:45 to play in the matchup. Warburg brings it up the floor. This is a young Willamette team. They're going to be scary for a couple of years. A three from the left side for Smith off the right iron. The freshman Aaliyah Ireland, the youngest player on the floor for the Wolverines, tracks down the rebound and finds Maddie Warburg for a three. 76-12. Season high has been 82 for Willamette. They are closing in on that possibility here. Montefiore crossover, almost lost it, gets back to it, out to the top. Ibsen fires it to the far side. The ball works underneath to Kalia Smith. Turnaround shot is blocked. Kalia Smith, the junior, will head to the free throw line for her shot. At getting in the scorebook from the free throw stripe. There is no seniors on the roster for this Willamette Wolverines team as Smith misses the front end. Grace Bachmeyer checks in for Sydney Montefiore. A frustrating night tonight for the Roseburg girls. Oh, that's the boys basketball team roster I was looking at. That would be why I didn't find a 21 on there. Second free throw missed for Smith. So Kalia, empty trip to the free throw line, stays 76-12. Into the corner for Willamette. Out at the top, Warburg. Straight away, will pass it away to Jaden Ireland. Out between the circles, behind the back dribble for Warburg. 21, I believe, is Michaela Morrison. Rebound underneath, the putback, and the bucket, and a foul for Maddie Warburg. We are under 60 seconds to play in this one with the running clock. 78-12. We'll see how this one finishes out here. One shot coming. So that, I believe, is Michaela Morrison, a sophomore that has gotten a chance to get some minutes here at the varsity level for Willamette. The and one is good for Warburg. 79-12, Roseburg basketball, 34 seconds to go. Shot clock, game clock, almost identical, just at a little extra time. Cutter, Kalia Smith, they ran that play great, but Smith's lay-in attempt does not fall. 23 seconds to play in the contest. Willamette can hold and just wear out the clock. No shot clock on. We'll see if Roseburg's going to continue to play some tough defense. Willamette just going to try and play some keep away, it would seem. Out to the top. Holding is Warburg, and this is going to wrap this one up. Final score here tonight is going to be 79-12. Willamette Wolverines picking up the win against the Roseburg Indians. After 8 points in the first quarter, Roseburg scores for the rest of the night. Tough one against a very good Willamette Wolverines team. We'll recap it for you when we come back in the postgame show. Stick around. We'll get you statistics and name our Mountain Mike's Pizza player of the game and tell you who was our in-the-paint rebound leader, brought to you by Colorcraft. That's all coming up for you when we come back after a 2-minute break here on 541radio.com and on The Score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
Successful companies have a very important secret. Good advertising works and makes them money. That's why your business should contact Lotus Media Group. Let us help you cash in with multimedia advertising. Multiple touches from Douglas County's only Google certified partner and most effective advertising platform. Web, broadcast, print. Make it happen. LotusMediaGroupLLC.com.
To us, pizza the way it ought to be isn't just our slogan. It's our promise and our passion to give you the best dining experience and the best tasting pizza you expect. For over 40 years, we've been making pizza the way it ought to be. Handmade with the freshest and finest ingredients. Our dough is made fresh daily, and we use 100% whole milk mozzarella cheese and toppings edge to edge. There's pizza, and then there's Mountain Mike's Pizza. Pizza the way it ought to be.
Looking for more local sports coverage? CBS Sports Radio 1490 The Score has you covered. Check out our homepage at 541radio.com for sports stories, scores, and podcasts. And follow us on social media. 1490 The Score is on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. And take the station with you wherever you go with the 541 Radio app. Download the app in your smartphone's app store and get access to a live stream of the station, sports stories, podcasts, and easy messaging with the station and others.
For over 100 years, Douglas County Farmers Co-op has been serving the needs of farmers, ranchers, and homeowners throughout Southern Oregon. Here, everyone is welcome. When you shop with us, you can expect good people, good products, and good advice. No membership needed. Just bring yourself, and we'll provide the expertise and products you need to tackle your next project. Douglas County Farmers Co-op, where everyone is welcome to shop.
Our first game of the night has gone final as the Roseburg girls knew they had a tall task in front of them against number 2 ranked Willamette, and the Wolverines did not disappoint for their fans that made the trek down here. They dominate against Roseburg as they finish with a big win, 79-12. Your final score here in this one tonight as the Roseburg girls will suffer the loss. They go to 2-13 on the year, and the Willamette Wolverines will go to 11-5. The Wolverines now 3-0 in conference play. Roseburg now 0-3 in the Southwest Conference. It was a 26-8 score at the end of the first quarter. Roseburg, not a bad first quarter, 8 points up on the board. Obviously, Willamette pulled out to a big lead, but Roseburg had some stuff going for them, and after that, they managed just 4 points the rest of the way and one more field goal the rest of the contest. They had a 2-point field goal by Arlie Asen in the third quarter. That was the only field goal the rest of the contest. And then a couple of free throws added in there as well. But Roseburg, unfortunately, just not a lot there for them. Too many turnovers, and that is what that press defense from the Willamette Wolverines will do to you. And for Willamette, they just continue to pile on as they will pick up. That is a 67-point victory for them tonight. I believe that was the largest lead of the game at 67. Might have been a little bit more. No, that's probably the largest lead of the night for them there at the end of the game. We'll take a look at the individual scoring from this one when we come back. We're going to get in another 2-minute break here in the postgame show, and this will come back and we'll do our final segment of the postgame show for the girls, and then we will finish out the video broadcast for the girls broadcast, and we'll start a new one for the boys. So we'll explain all of that when we come back after this 2-minute timeout on 541radio.com and on The Score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
Hey there, sports fans. Thanks for watching this local sporting event online at 541radio.com. Did you know there's more than one way to watch games online? You can watch games on your laptop or desktop computer, your tablet, or even your smartphone just by going to 541radio.com. But we also use YouTube to stream all of our video broadcasts, which means you could be watching this game on your big screen TV with a number of different streaming devices. You can stream our live YouTube broadcast through your PlayStation or Xbox gaming device, or through streaming devices like Google Chromecast, Apple TV, or Roku. There's plenty of ways to follow this live local sporting event. Plus, you can find past events archived on 1490 The Score's YouTube channel. Find us on YouTube and subscribe today to keep up with the latest in local sports coverage.
For over 100 years, Douglas County Farmers Co-op has been serving the needs of farmers, ranchers, and homeowners throughout Southern Oregon. Here, everyone is welcome. When you shop with us, you can expect good people, good products, and good advice. No membership needed. Just bring yourself, and we'll provide the expertise and products you need to tackle your next project. Douglas County Farmers Co-op, where everyone is welcome to shop.
When the first Cascade branch opened in 1948, things were a lot different here. The fact they're still here says a lot about the way they do business.
Staying in business for 75 years requires the cooperation of generations. It's the desire to learn and grow with your community.
My account number is only 5 digits long. What that tells me is that this is a local credit union.
Cascade Community Credit Union would like to thank you for 75 years of growth and support here in Douglas County.
Boys are out on the floor warming up for our second game of the night. That'll be coming up here in just a few moments, but we're going to put the final touches on the girls' game here for you tonight. This broadcast has been brought to you by Barnes Heating and Cooling, your complete energy company. Visit barnesheatingandcooling.com or call them at 541-459-1545. Tonight's game also brought to you by Chuck Swarman Family Auto Repair. Are you ready to go where life takes you? And by Dr. Alanson Randall Family and Cosmetic Dentistry. Visit drrandall.com or call them at 541-378-6694. All right, taking a look at numbers for the visiting Willamette Wolverines. Leading scorer with 26 is Bryn Smith, 23 for Isabella Harms. Also in double figures with 16, Maddie Warburg. Then you had 9 points in the game for Harper Wagner. And then 3 points for Victoria Wynn and 2 points for Aaliyah Ireland. On the other side for the Roseburg girls, leading scorer with 6 points was Sydney Montefiore. And then you had 3 points for Grace Bachmeyer, 2 points for Arlie Asen, and a point for Aria Smith. And your leading rebounder tonight is Arlie Asen. I had her down for 5. That might be a little bit short of the total number she had, but that's what I got, and that's what we're going with. The Colorcraft in the paint rebound leader tonight, Arlie Asen. She's going to receive a $10 gift card from Java Run for being the rebound leader. Remember, Colorcraft is a paint store. They're not a paint department, so when you're looking to get in the paint, you can expect perfect matches with Colorcraft and Benjamin Moore. And tonight's Mountain Mike's Pizza player of the game for the Roseburg girls here this evening. Taking a look through here as to who seems to be a good candidate for that one. Let's see here. I'm going to give it to Sydney Montefiore, leading scorer in this one, working hard, frustration on her face with just things not quite going the Roseburg girls' way, but nonetheless a hard effort tonight for Sydney and the girls all around. They definitely were playing tough, but that was a big-time opponent that they were facing there. So we'll give that to Sydney Montefiore, your Mountain Mike's Pizza player of the game. You can stop by to fill up after home games or even away games. You can stop on by, pick up a pie to take home with you. That's Mountain Mike's Pizza. Pizza the way it ought to be. Find them at the corner of Bellows and Harvard in Roseburg. All right, that's going to do it for the Roseburg girls game. We will end the video broadcast for those that are watching online. We will end the broadcast of the girls game. We'll start a new one for the boys. So if you are on 541radio.com, it'll just be on that same page that you're watching the game there. If you're watching on our YouTube channel, it'll just be back on our main channel. You'll find the new broadcast starting up there. So we'll get the boys game started here during this next commercial break. And when we come back, we're going to hear from head coach of the Roseburg boys basketball team, Jordan Humphreys. So we'll have that for you when we come back after this quick 2-minute timeout on 541radio.com and on the Score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM. copy?